Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is iRepublic Studs, and as you saw in the intro, today we have a new set. Now, this set was sent to me free of charge by my man, One Stud. I am going to be talking a little bit about him, but if you want to skip straight to the review of his set and maybe come back later to this if you want to buy it, then click on this time card right here. First off, huge thank you to One Stud for sending me this. It is an absolutely amazing set. I have already built it, and it looks great. Now, One Stud is one of my sponsors. He sells loads of custom sets. He sent me his Republic gunship before, and he sent me a few other things, and they're absolutely great. And this time around, he decided that he would send me an awesome Quinton's light cruiser from the Mandalorian Season 2, Moff Gideon's head ship, and it looks absolutely stunning. Now, if you want to buy your own, they are on his site right now. I believe $375. And it is absolutely amazing. I think it's totally worth it. I know there's a new one coming out, but I don't think that one will top this one, especially for the quality. Now, you can use my code RSTUDS, and you can save 10% off your entire purchase. I believe the day this comes out, we might be running some special. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so anyway, this is an absolutely awesome set. I cannot wait to get into it. Huge thank you to One Stud. Let's go. So first off, this set was designed by BrickWizard59, who is a fellow YouTuber. He has designed this set, and obviously it was put out by One Stud. And I think it looks absolutely great. I think we're going to get right on into the packaging, so please remember to subscribe. So, first off, we're going to start by opening up the box. You will see a nice color-coded bag. You also have a little Moff Gideon figure right here with One Stud special plaque. And you will see all the bricks. They come in color-coded fashion, and it looks great. I can't wait to get into this. But yeah, this is basically how it's set up. You open up the box like so, and you're getting it in this nice print, by the way. I just love the way they do this. This is above and beyond what other Lego sellers who sell sets do. Most of them send it in, like, bags. This is a really neat way to do this, and I think, while it's not, like, revolutionary, like, in terms of, like, what Lego sets do, I think it's still nice when you're buying a custom set to get that Lego set feel when you go and buy a Lego set, and you're getting it in a nice box. Now, I will say, before we get started with this set, no matter what the complaints I make, though, it's undoubtedly a beautiful model, and I love it a lot. So if I ever say anything, just remember that, to keep that in mind, that it does look absolutely great, and I really like it. And I think we're going to start right off in the front. Now, this is the area that I feel lacks the most in the main part. Because main part, this is such a fragile structure. I think this could not have been more of a delicate structure. Like, you have to be extremely careful. If you touch it the wrong way, it will come loose. It's a little absurd. Like, look, see? Like, literally, it just came off. And clipping it in is even weirder because, like, you have to do this. And then you're not even sure if the connection's secure. And it's just a bit of a, it's a bit, OCD inducing. It's a bit difficult, but I think it's easy to get over. But I think we're gonna move over. Each side have identical, like, sides like this, so I'm going to show you that. You'll notice here we have some of the turret designs. We have also some of all of this. Just a nice little greebling. I really appreciate it. It could have been left blank, and I think this really fills in mistakes like, say, Lego makes with, like, say, the Venator set, where it just sort of is a mess and nobody knows what's going on, and there's open holes, and it's just not great. I like the way that we do the detail here. There are also two turrets. They're the same, so I'll give you a brief, intro to what they do. Obviously, they move up and down. I like the way. I think this is actually a very creative design on behalf of BrickWizard. And you can move them up and down in the same way, or you could do really whatever you want with it. I personally think they look best like this. And obviously, it came on a little white platform, which I don't know if there is a gray option, but I think that works fine. Now, let's move into the interior. So this panel is really difficult to keep in position. So what I've done is I took these studs and I just kind of put them here so it can gently lay on it, just so that way it could, rest there. And let's move into the interior so you can look at it better. Now, this is the little hangar in here. You will notice there is some nice little detail. First off, you'll get some mini ships. You get a nice mini Imperial shuttle, which I think could have been better. I think I've seen good interpretations of a mini Imperial shuttle. This feels almost like a mini Republic attack shuttle. But yeah, you'll notice it's pretty fine with details. And then you also get the TIE fighters. You have by the way, you have all these red studs here. That's how they connect. And also that's a problem when you have the studs like on the bottom of the TIE. But this is the TIE from the main angle, and you could just pop him down on any of the stud hoppers in the hangar. I actually really like this. My big thing I think I would say would be for them to include maybe more ties, because you don't have that many of those specific pieces. So that would have probably been nice. But yeah, so you'll notice there are these nice little arrows. I think that's an amazing design, especially for this type of a set. And I'll briefly show you the other side. it's near identical. In the instructions, it tells you to put the little shuttle in here on this specific one alone, which is fine, and I actually think that's, like, pretty good. And I just really like the idea of having these little hangars, and I think it's been done before, like in I believe the Star Destroyers in the past, we've had escape pods, but we've never really had those types of hangars in LEGO sets, especially MIDI scale. Moving on over to the side, we have a pretty dicey feature, and this one I'm really kind of iffy on. I don't like how you have to open two separate panels. I wish this was all one unit if possible. I know it might have been difficult to do, but it's just extraordinarily difficult to have this type of a thing and try to get access. Like, it's very difficult. But anyway, this is the Dark Trooper holding bay. Now, in there you have two custom Dark Troopers, which I'll show you, as well as the custom Moff Gideon at the end of the video. But yeah, so basically, I'll try to briefly show you what's going on in here, if I can get a good angle. But basically what's happening is these Dark Troopers are resting, and their feet are connected to this little charging port, I guess. And I think this is certainly one of the most lacking rooms in this ship, and I think that's, goes without saying. But it's certainly a neat feature nonetheless. I personally think it would have been cooler to, say, have some sort of a hallway for Luke to go down, or some sort of, say, Baby Yoda prison center. Like, I think that could have been fit just fine somewhere. I just think this kind of could have been executed somewhere else. Like, I think you could have even fit it, like, say, in the back engine or something. It just isn't that crazy of a build. I think we could have had more interior space to use for other things. I just think there would have been more room to do something else, in my opinion. I'll briefly show you guys all the little details and intricacies on the top. I really like this panel here. I think that's nice. The problem I'm having, personally, with the exterior, other than the front panels, is this top panel right here. And look, the front panel just... But you'll notice up here, this thing is, like, it's very fragile. Like, it uses a stud hopper to connect, but I think that doesn't work particularly well, and I think that could have probably been executed better. I think, since this is, like, it just could have been something else. It's connecting right here. So I guess I understand why they had to do it that way. I just think that it could have certainly been executed better. Now, before we get into the final room on the interior, which is really cool, actually, I want to show you guys the engines. Here they are. I think they are great. And I was comparing the set earlier to one of my first order Star Destroyers, and the engines, like the regular ship, is about the exact same proportion as the first order Star Destroyer. And then you add this on, basically, which almost feels like the back of the Republic frigate set, which is really neat. And it's pretty held together by these nice little panels. I just think it's a neat build overall. And I really wish there was some sort of engine fire, maybe. That would have been nice, like, just to show the engines firing up, which I know a lot of normal LEGO sets actually do. But this is obviously a custom set. But yeah, also you notice this little curvature area back here. It's like you forget when you're doing this when you're like, oh, I'm about to finish. And then you forget you have this area. But yeah, so anyway, let's get into the next interior section. Now, here is the little command center. Again, very hard to access with the same sort of problem here. But there is a nice little area. And by the way, you cannot stand up the figures when you close the panels. It is just because it is, like, you'll see, it pops it up. I mean, you could, just it wouldn't work well. You have two little blasters, which I believe are for the Dark Troopers over here. You have some nice panels, and I believe you also have some nice printed panels. He forgot to put them in the package, I believe, so I just substituted them out with these tiles for now. And there's Moff Gideon running his little command center. You can put holograms up there, or whatever you please. And again, there's that little blaster holder, which looks super neat. If you'll try to zoom in on that back there. There you go. Also, throughout the build, you will notice in the back there is the Technic setup, which I found quite interesting. I think the hardest part to build was certainly the bottom layer, which I'll show you in a second. If you want to pick this up, all you have to do is get under the carriage, and you will see it is very nice. You'll also notice under here, a little area that the center of gravity almost will allow the ship to stand the way it is, and it doesn't lean forward or back. And I think it looks great, especially aligning up with the engines, and it allows it to stand properly. When you're building, it's a bit of a problem because it wobbles the build, because you don't have the engines are the last part. But yeah, you'll notice that there. And the cool thing about that as well is if you ever really want to play with it, which this isn't exactly great for play, all you have to do is just, fly it around. You can grab that area and soar it off into the distance. Now, another nice thing about this set is you get a free Moff Gideon, well, not free, but you get a Moff Gideon figure included in it. Now, the torso, I believe, is a full 360 print. You can look at that, and you will see it is all the way around. You will see it goes on the sides, and let me pull off the headpiece for a second, and you will notice on the back there is some nice printing. There is printing all over, and there's even printing on the back of the torso, which is super neat, and you don't even see there because he's wearing a cape. So that's just an amazing level and attention to detail. The head print is decent. I like it a lot. Also, you get a limited edition minifig from the One Stud collection over here on the tile. No, I think this is where certainly my bigger complaint would lie. I know it's very hard to make the Dark Trooper in Lego, but this is just kind of really I'm not big on it. I don't like it at all. I'm gonna be completely honest with that. I think the feet, the way they designed it all together just doesn't work extremely well. I think I get what they were going for, but like, you know, just the way you have to walk the feet, it doesn't work well. You know, it's very fragile to begin with. I like the torso. I like where they were going there. I think the arms are decent. I certainly think the head is really messed up. I'm not even sure what this piece is. It looks like some sort of Viking piece. And they were going for something. I think they would have been better off, like, honestly, just maybe, you know, like, getting a Death Trooper helmet or putting, like, a Super Battle Droid or something. Like, just does not work, in my opinion. I think they probably could have figured out something else. Like, maybe get an IG-88 torso. Like, they could have gotten the IG-88 torso and, say, made some sort of custom head, which, like with a stud. Like, almost like the Darth Vader transformation medical droid, something like that. That could have worked, just because I'm not 100% sure what this is. It looks really bizarre. You do get two of them, which is nice, and obviously you get two of them to be flanked by Moff Gideon, which would look super cool. Now, final thought. I will say this is certainly one of the most difficult LEGO builds I've done in my lifetime. So if you're not good and you're not amazing with building LEGO sets, generally speaking, you're certainly going to have a very hard time designing this, or building this one. But overall, your instructions are all come online, they all look decent, and they're very clear. There are a few color miscommunications, and that really screws you up sometimes, but I think it gets the point across. And overall, I think it's just a neat set. If you're into these types of builds, it's certainly worth it. But I think if you're not good with building the intricate type designs, then, like, with the, it's just a lot more difficult because it's not bagged for me personally. I don't know why, but that's just a thing that I have a problem with. So if you're not into that, then I don't think this is for you. But if you are, this is absolutely for you. I think this is great in terms of looks. It has great shelf display ability. It has great design. I love the box, and I think the figure that comes with it is great. And for $375, I'd say it's certainly a decent value compared to other things that are on shelves at the moment. Obviously, it's a very hard draw, and that's very expensive, so I completely understand if it's just not within your price range. Like, for instance, over there, you'll see my Tantive 4, which was going for about $200, and this one's going for about $375, so it kind of is proportional. It's really up to you, but yeah. Okay, finally, before we close, I want to give a huge thank you again to One Stud and BrickWizard59 for both designing and making this set. I think it looks great. I'm really appreciative for him sending this to me. And also, I just want to thank you guys for giving me the platform to be able to review this stuff for you all. And just tell me what you guys think. Would you like this ship? I certainly have some thoughts on it. It's just a great build. I think there are obviously many flaws, but that goes with everything, especially custom builds. And I'm willing to give that. Obviously, there's always faults, and that's fine. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Remember to please like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the other things, and I will see you all in the next one.